Wow. I think we can all agree here that by a long distance, by a long margin, we deserve to win that game. We absolutely deserve to win that game because for me, I thought we looked so composed against Real Madrid. Thomas Tuchel has clearly been anticipating this game ever since the draw was announced from time back, you guys. I think now when we look back at previous games in this past month, we can quite clearly see with certain lineup selections, certain subs being made, that they were all being done in preparation for this game. And I think that's why the team looks so comfortable and looks so composed against Real Madrid. I thought we outclassed them today, but it wasn't as perfect as it should have been. This was a potential, history in the making. The thing that constantly comes to bite us in the butt is one thing that I've been moaning about. It's one thing you guys have been complaining about yourselves this season. It's our lack of finishing ability up front. In games like this, in the biggest games, you have to take your moments. You have these moments against your opposition where you can smell the fear, you can smell the blood, and you have to go for it. You have to take responsibility, and you have to put that ball in the back of the net. And we weren't able to do that after so much great industry, some beautiful footballs. Just really forcing Real Madrid to, have to rethink how they played against us. This was a really impressive performance from a team under Thomas Tuchel now that quite clearly is a very serious team. We are a serious team. The fact that we found ourselves in a semi-final position right now tells you everything you need to know about the development of this team under Thomas Tuchel. And he deserves so much credit for what he's done coming in here. And at times I don't always agree with some of the certain setups against the weaker teams, but Thomas Tuchel is a big game guy and a big game manager. And today, his game plan was decisive against Real Madrid. And I'm going to briefly just give you one example behind, one of the key aspects of the system. I'm not going to delve into tactics, you guys. We've got a ton of things to break down from this game. But one of the reasons why we were able to, for me, stop Madrid's midfield, because I don't remember Modric playing any dangerous passes between the lines. I don't remember Cruz doing either. I remember Cruz taking, pot shots outside the box. I didn't see nothing from them because we had them under control. We were constantly winning possession from them. We minimized the effectiveness of their passes. Lots of sideways 5-yard balls. And the times where they had to play more direct and faster, they were forced to play these passes from 50, 60 yards away from their attacking players. So this was a masterclass. And one of the reasons why behind we took Madrid's midfield out of the game in that sense was how we use Mason Mount and Pulisic. Now, depending on where the ball was on the field, you'd have either Pulisic or Mason Mount dropping into spaces in behind Modric or Toni Kroos, because we know that their defensive IQ isn't the same as their, ball IQ. Let's keep it real. And, we were constantly able to bypass the midfield by quickly having Mount, Pulisic receiving on the half turn and kickstarting those attacks. And the ease at which we were constantly finding ourselves in these dangerous positions between the lines on the transition, time and time again. It really is disappointing that we only scored one goal in this game today, because if it wasn't for some, poorly timed runs, some inconsistent finishing, poor balls in the final thirds, we're looking at a big win here, you guys. And, Real Madrid, they showed us today why we have to always respect them. That chance, that goal from Benzema, absolute world class, and that's the difference. That is that finishing piece of the puzzle we need in our team. A player that can create moments of brilliance like this, who can finish opportunities like this. That is the one thing that is separating us at this point in time, and it's a big deal, you guys, because you see the difference it makes in the biggest games like this. So, wow, you guys, if you're pumped after this game, if you feel like we have it in us to go all the way to beat them in the second leg, you feel confident we're going to do this, and please, today, you guys, let's get behind the team, get behind the channel, smash the like button. I'm going to get over 3,000 likes for today's video, but we continue on, and I need to start off straight off the bat, straight away, by discussing Christian Pulisic, because you see that you're carrying the claps, yeah? You're carrying the claps, yeah? Because this was world class. This was simply world class. Wow. I was definitely getting flashbacks of Eden Hazard. He stepped up today. Playoff Pulisic, he arrived, he announced himself. We know what he does in the big decisive games, and how many times was he constantly drawing fouls? I don't know how Casemiro didn't get more. Militao was allowed to make these fouls from behind. I don't know what the referee was doing at times. I thought it was a bit mad, in my opinion. But, Pulisic, foul magnet, dribbling magnet, the air of composure. It looked like he had stepped up a level in this game. He was constantly receiving in, areas of pressure where he had to help the team out. His close control, his dribbles out from danger. The way he was making intelligent runs in behind. For God's sake, you guys, the damn goal he scored. What a goal to score against Real Madrid, that composure. And the funny thing about the composure is that he definitely knew not to pass the team over. And I don't know if it boosted him and allowed him to think clearly about how he was going to put that ball in the back of the net. But it worked, you guys. And, that was not an easy goal. You had both Nacho and Varane trying to make themselves as big as possible in that net to really put him off, but it didn't. And he set an example for the team today. His hold-up play in particular was outstanding. It was incredible. And what I loved about Pulisic, what I'm seeing under Thomas Tuchel with Pulisic right now, is that he's learning how to use his directness. Not every time you receive the ball, you have to go, pow, 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 forward and go as direct as possible. We're now seeing Pulisic weaving with his runs, playing his 1-2s, the playmaking coming to the game and receiving balls and, areas where you're expecting nothing to happen and then creating something from absolutely nothing. This was a standout performance today, and as I'm saying, hats off goes to Pulisic for such a world-class performance. But for every top quality performance, there are a few duds, and I have to say, Timo Werner today, I'm sorry, this was not the type of game where you play like this. I was going to actually say something a lot worse then, but I need to try to keep things a bit respectful, you guys. But all I can say was I was disappointed. I don't know how he missed that goal right from the start. Amazing play from Pulisic to then play him across goal with that header. Werner's finishing, he let himself down, in my opinion. And what was really frustrating with his overall game, I thought there were good aspects. And, his hold-up play was decent at times, him going for aerials, his pressing from the front. But, his aspects such as his runs in behind, they weren't good enough. They weren't good. When it came to taking shots against Courtois, he was taking extra touches. He wasn't wrapping his foot around the ball enough. The tactics, the setup was perfect. It was beautiful. Everything was there. We created enough today, but we should have scored more. And Werner was one of the reasons behind why that was not the case. So, we have to see what happens. But, Tuchel, I think, with how Havertz and Ziyech came on in the second half, the transform how he played too, I think he kind of expected the worst case scenarios. So, under Tuchel, we have a manager that prepares for every single thing, you guys. But, we have to continue on with the game because, for me, there were some great performances today in midfields and N'Golo Kante. Yes, a handful of times the final pass wasn't as great. Do I feel that Werner wasn't making the best runs? You're damn right I do, you guys. But we have to realise that Kante is more than that. Kante isn't a cam where we have to solely judge him by those final balls. The way he just overran Modric and Kroos. The second balls he was constantly winning. Those drives in behind, carrying the ball. Kante steps up in the big games. His technique was fully on show today. His technical prowess was evidently there to see today. How he is able to have that composure to maintain possession. The one-touch, two-touch play I'm constantly going on about, you guys. His press resistance too. This is a world-class performance. You have players like him in your team. They play a massive part in the reason behind if you win things in the end or not. And to continue on with some really good performances today, I thought Thiago Silva, Rudiger, wow, incredible. Rudiger's pass to Pulisic for the start of goal, Mads, outstanding. He's been demonstrating his ball playing ability throughout the season. He's really gone up different levels. I'm not seeing the same Rudiger I've ever seen since he signed for us, and that tells you everything you need to know about how players can develop at their own age. And to give the final praise to someone, it has to be Thiago Silva, because He's come to this team, he's elevated us, he's made us a better team. We have to see what he does on the ball. Those passes between the lines, those disguised passes. You know, when you have someone like this in your team, it dramatically boosts your chances of winning things at the end of the season. So, wow, you know, this is a performance today that gives us a lot of hope and a lot of promise for the second leg of game. Can we do this? Do I think we can do this? I think we can, but our Achilles heel is ourselves, and it's in the finishing department. Throughout the season, I haven't felt that confidence that we can, you know, score those decisive goals at the right time. We had it in us today to kill this game off, to beat Real Madrid. You know, the way we were constantly playing in front of them time and time again, some amazing passages of play, some amazing possession control as well. You know, we really limited them in attack. You know, Benzema, Vinicius were really isolated throughout large parts of this game. Vinicius in particular, when I say isolated, he was isolated and had absolutely nothing to do today, you guys. And, you know, we really just created space between their attack and their midfields. And for me, the key thing behind that was their intensity today. I said it's going to be key for us, and in the second leg, wow, it's going to be even more important, you guys, because this is it now. We have the ability now to control our own fate and our own destiny, and actually find ourselves in the Champions League final. But you guys, to end things, if we are going to beat Real Madrid, we may have to be a bit more brave. For example, today, Azpilicueta, I didn't think he was that great. A lot of times, yeah, he shows some great resistance. He shows some great positional play, some good interceptions, and, you know, he was really, you know, sticking with his man to push him out wide. But when it came to the technical part of the game, maintaining possession, creating some threat with his, you know, passes in behind and crosses from out wide as well, it wasn't really there at times, and he was the guy really giving away possession in our own half. This game was tailor-made for Reece James. Understand why James came on, because he was there to, you know, deal with Hazard as well. I get that. In games like this, when you have the opposition on the ropes, these are the moments where you kill them off and seal your fate. And I feel like in the second leg, we may have to see a few more brave subs at times and some player selections to guarantee that we get the goals to win this game, you guys. But, you know, let's keep believing in this team, believing in the boys, you guys. On that note, I'm in the FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Come on, chelse. I'll see you guys soon. Cool.